And we're going to talk about operations of integers. All right. So the objective is for you to be able to, well, let's do this. In order for you to be able to understand a skill or gain a skill, you need to be able to understand what the words mean. The first math word we have is operations. Who knows what an operation is in math? Anybody want to volunteer? Nobody knows what operations are? Guess. What's operation? There you go. The first one is addition. And what the next one could be? Subtraction. What's another one? Yeah, there you go. Multiplication. And they go with exponents. And the last one is what? There you go. All right. So when we're talking about operations, we're talking about a process that we'll carry out dealing with these type of numbers. But let's keep going. In addition, we use a symbol called a plus sign. That shows addition. For subtraction, we use a dash. And a dash is something different depending on what's around it. All right? Multiplication, we use several things. Multiplication, we use an X. You can use a dot operator, like 5.6, like that. Or you can use a parenthesis, but we'll leave it right there. Then division. Division, people say you can use a slash. I'm cool with that. Use a slash. Or you can use the fraction bar. Let's look at the division symbol itself. The division symbol has a line going through it. It has a number on top and a number on bottom. The division symbol itself is nothing but a fraction with a numerator and denominator. That's all that symbol is. All right? So if you have a fraction, it's still division. Now, integers. Let's look at what integers are. Integers, do me a favor, draw us a long number line. All right? Long number line, and we're going to put 0 in it. So, operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Integers. When you start counting your money, what's the first number you hit? 1, that's right. What's another number? What's the next one? Keep going for me. All right. Man, you doing good, man. Only one talking. So, integers are the counting numbers, I'll say. Because you count your money, you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right? But on the right side of this number line, all the numbers have something in common. They're all positive. And when a number is positive, you can also use the plus sign or in front of the number, or it can just be blank in front of the number. If you have $40 in your account, it probably won't say positive $40. It just say 40. Now, that's one side of the integer game. On the left side of 0, you have some other kind of numbers. Now, this ain't when you get some money. This is when you owe some money. What kind of numbers are these? Negative. So you got -1, -2, -3, -4. Go as far as you can. -5, -6. And we'll say this side, these are your negative numbers. And this is also denoted by a dash. So if you have a dash in front of a number, that's a negative number. That means you owe somebody some money. All right? Now, integers are negative or positive counting numbers, or negative or positive whole numbers for what we'll be using them. And we're going to talk about add, subtract, multiplication, division of negative and positive whole numbers. Now, I want you to write this down. Now, on the number line, the number to the left. I'm sorry. Number to the right. The number to the right is larger. All right? If you think about two numbers and put them on the number line, whoever's on the right-hand side, that's the larger number. If you compare any two numbers on the number line, whoever is on the right side is larger. I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you. Let's take 1 and 6. Which number is to the right of the other? Who's the rightmost number? 6. Isn't 6 larger than 1? Yes. Let's try it again. What about -5 and 4? Who's larger? Any positive number is going to be larger than any what? I would rather have $1 than to owe you 2,000. Some of y'all owe, what's that place that girl said she owe? What's that place that you pay by the week? You can pay by the week for something to eat. What is it? You know it. Klarna and what's the other people? Them other folks. Don't owe that much money for a Burger King meal, man. I got a few dollars. I'll let me. All right? So, negative numbers are always going to be much smaller than a positive number. Let's try. Let me show you. Let me say it again. Let's try -3 and -6. Which one is to the right? So -3 is larger than -6, right? There are symbols that we use to compare numbers. And that symbol is this one and this one. All right? What I'll do is let's scoot down some. Let's scoot down some. All right. Now, if the little n, that's the little. When I say little n, I'm talking about that little pointy end right here. This little bit right here. It should always point to the smaller number. This pointy end should always point to the smaller number. All right, and let's draw that. Let's draw that. Let's draw that. This and this, those two ends there should always point to the smaller number, always. But vice versa, this open end should point to the what? The larger number. It should always point toward the larger number. All right? Your open end should always go to the opening. All right, let's try it out. If I said -16 and -4. Now, I wrote this just as it is on the number line. -16 is going to be somewhere past -6. -4 you see. So you already know that -4 is larger than -16, correct? But when you draw your symbol, I want the pointy end to point to the smaller number. You see it? And the open end is pointing to the large number every time. Every time. So if I said that we have 12 and -3. All right? I'm just showing you things that you know. So you know I'm not lying about these symbols. Now, on the number line, out of 12 and -3, if you think about them on the number line, which one of these would be on the right side? The 12 would be. So that means that when you put your symbol, the open end should be toward the 12, where the small n is pointing toward the what? You see it? Pointing in, smaller number. Open in, bigger number. They're just comparing numbers. Now, with that, let me see if let's hope I don't confuse you. Let me see what I'll show what I mean by this. Write this down. Distance is always positive. Distance, let's see. Distance is always positive. Check it out. Shaw, you from Memphis, huh? Where you from? Pine Bluff. That's what I need. Okay, here we go. Shaw just got a brand new car. Don't draw this. Just give me a minute. Shaw got a brand new Porsche. Him and his old lady got a brand new Porsche. They dropped it off at the house. When you got a brand new car, how many miles on the car? When you get a brand new car and never touched the road before, how many miles should be on it? None. 0. All right? But Shaw think he's slick. Shaw been on Instagram talking to somebody, and he believed that distance is negative. So what he do? He live in Pine Bluff, right? He live in Pine Bluff. He live in PB. All right, here we go. He came to Little Rock to holler at this little tenderoni. All right. He came to Little Rock. Little Rock is, how many miles is from Little Rock? By how many?
I don't know.
So about 40 miles, something like that. Right? I know you drive fast. I always what? Now that's not he's real faithful, man. I was just talking. All right, he's just my example. I should have used John instead. Now, so this is always positive. So no matter what direction you go in, it's always positive, just a different direction. Now, this is what I mean. That's what I mean by that. Let's talk about who has the farther distance from 0. Let's try that. All right. Let's look at -3 and -6. How many steps does it take to get to -3 from 0? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 3 steps. How many steps does it take to get to -6? That's right. What did I do? Just took off the what? Let's take off negative sign. So distance, you just worry about the positive value. All right? Now, if I asked you, if I had the numbers, let's try 5 and -6. 5 and -6. Let's try 5 and -6. Erase this one. 5 and -6. Which has the higher distance? Which one is farther away from 0? -6 is farther away from 0 than 5. I did not say -6 was larger than 5. I said -6 is farther away from who? 0. That's a difference. And -6 is farther away from 0 than 5. If I have to prove it, I will. From 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From 0 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, what? 5. -6 is farther away from 0. Look at it like this too. -26 and 30. Which is farther away from 0? 30 is farther away from 0. Let's do it again. -54 and -62. Which is farther away from 0? Negative 62 is farther away. I did not say it was larger. Actually, negative 54 is larger because I'd rather owe you 54 than owe you 62. But when I say distance from 0, negative 62 is farther away from 0 than negative 54. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do 7. Well, let's do negative 7 and negative 2. Who is farther away from 0? Negative 7. There's a reason I'm asking you this. So when we're doing this, in your mind, imagine a number line and try to think about who is farther away from 0. Okay? Here we go. Here's the lesson. Addition, the first operation. Addition of integers. All right. Addition of integers. The first thing I'll tell you to do is check the signs of the numbers. Check the sign of the numbers. And then when you check the signs of numbers, you're going to have two things you look for. Check. So you see you have an addition operation. Check the signs of your numbers. All right? When you check the signs of the number, you do this. I'll say if your numbers have the same sign, this is what I mean by that. If we have negative 6 plus negative 3. Now, those of you that had me before, I don't like my plus and my dash numbers beside each other. So I'll put a parenthesis around any negative number I got. I don't like them touching. You don't have to. But I'm just showing you. That's all I'm saying is that this number is separate from, is behind the operation. That's all I'm saying. So anytime I got an operation, I put my negative number in parentheses. Some people do it for both. I do not mind. I don't care. Now, I want you to ask her a question. Do these numbers, first off, what's the operation we're dealing with in this problem? Addition, right? It's in the middle. Do these numbers have the same sign or different signs? So if you have the same sign, that means you should add those two numbers. Okay? Let's do so. You don't do nothing different. Just add regular. Don't even worry about the negative sign. Just add regular. 6 plus 3, 6 and 3 is how much? 9. All right? So when you see they got the same sign, add the number. All right? And then I'll say this. I'll just put it. If they had the same sign you add, what I want you to do is, I got more room than I needed. Let's do this. Oh. Let's do this. All right. I want you to, after you add, I want you to carry the sign of the number. That is farther away from 0. Carry the sign of the number that's farther away from 0. All right? So, after we add, we got 9. What sign, which number is farther away from 0? So, what sign will your answer be? There you go. Let's do it again. If you had a problem that says negative 21 plus negative 10. First off, we know we're operation of addition. We look at the signs on the numbers. Are they the same or different? Same. They the same. So we just add regular 21 and 10. We get 31. But then you carry the sign of the number that's farther away from 0. Which one of these farther away from 0? So you carry his sign. All right? Let's go to the other side now. All right. If the signs are different, if signs are different, if the signs are different, now you subtract. So just because you see a plus sign, that does not mean you always add. When you see you have negative and positive numbers, you need to check the numbers, because you may have to add or subtract. All right? So what I mean by that is this. If your problem is -6 plus 3. All right? So the rule says check the signs of the numbers. All right? Do I have the same sign or different signs? I got different signs. If they're different, it wants to do what? Subtract. So you subtract. Don't worry about negative or positive. You subtract. 6 minus 3. Just subtract. What's 6 minus 3? Now, carry the sign of the number that is farther away from 0. Which number is farther away from 0? That's -6. So your answer will be a -3. All right. I don't want nobody telling me a negative plus a negative is a positive. That's not true. That's not true. Let's do it again. One more. -15 plus 18. All right. Do these problems have the same sign or different signs? They're different. So you have to subtract. That means you would come to the side and say 18. I always put the bigger positive number on top. 18 and 15. And because they're different signs, I'm subtracting. And you get 3. But which one is farther away from 0? 18. So you keep it positive. All right. Now, for the activity we're going to do today, I'm going to give you a problem. And let's say the problem is -4 plus -10. Let's say that's the problem. I don't want to answer because you're going to have a calculator. Not worried about that today. First thing I want you to tell me, if these are the same signs or different signs. What are they? So you're just going to write same. All right. Next, do you add or subtract these two numbers? There you go. I just want to tell me add. Then the last thing you're going to tell me, will your answer be negative or positive? Which one? Thank you. Always. If you got if you give two people have a baby, the baby gonna look like somebody. Whoever's the farther away from 0, that's who the baby gonna look like. All right. And I'll do another one here. All right. So if it's no, I'll stop. Since we give you all these examples, y'all got it. Let's roll.